over the warm-up, what we went through. In multiplication, 12 times 5 equals 60. 12 and 5 are called what? Okay. You're at home, you can chime in too. I'll be multiplications there. 12 and 5 are called factors. They're things that you multiply together to get a result. Okay? The result of multiplication is called what? What would that 60 be called? It is totally okay to answer and be wrong, because that means that I have a job that I'll be able to keep. If you had all the right answers, then I would have a job. Okay? 60 here is called the product. Okay. So we're going to be learning a lot of vocabulary in this class. It's really, really important when you are doing math work that you actually know the language of math, right? The words, when you go ahead and you take a test, or you take here a test in class, or you're taking a standardized test, we'll have a lot of vocabulary that will help you with your learning. Here, when you divide one number by another, what's the result called? I don't know if I have this one on there. When we multiply numbers, it's called the product. When we add two numbers, it's called the sum. When we subtract two numbers, it's called the difference. Do you remember what that fourth one is called? When we divide two numbers? Begins with Q. Did I hear quotient?
I thought I did.
I bet I did. Okay. Quotient. I'm hearing things, that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go around the room, I'm going to call on you for each one of these. Lacey, can you tell me how many days are in 1 week? 7 days. Excellent. Xavier, how many inches are in a foot? 12. Hayden?
Yes.
How many cents in a nickel? 5. Okay, let's go. Harder one. Haley, how many quarts in a gallon? Well, here's how I remember, because I always had a hard time with these. But quart kind of sounds like quarter. And how many quarters are in a gallon? 4. And it's the same thing for gallons. There's 4 quarts in a gallon. That quart comes from that word quart. Okay? And last one. Does anybody know how many feet are in a yard? 3 feet. Excellent. Okay? So just some basic conversion factors to know. In that quart, think about quarter, put it into quart. Okay, so today we're going to identify variables, numerical expressions, and algebraic expressions. Then to write algebraic expressions for word phrases, those are 2 things we're going to do. We're going to kind of break it up a little bit. So the first thing we're going to look at is our vocabulary. Variable. A variable is a letter that stands for a number. So if you turn your page on the thing that I gave you, you can fill it in right there. Okay. So a variable is a letter that stands for a number. Can anyone give me an example of a variable? Haley, can you give me an example of a variable? When you think about algebra, what do you usually think of? A variable. A letter that means a number. Usually one of these. X, absolutely, right? We use X all the time in algebra. We also use Y. We also use M and Z. We use most letters. Usually we try to say an O, because it looks like a zero. But you can use any letter to stand for a number in algebra. Okay? An algebraic expression, then, is a mathematical phrase that uses variables, numbers, and operation symbols. So, an algebraic expression is going to use a combination of those things. Example, we might have something like 2x. That's an expression. It's actually multiplying 2 times x. Even though we don't have a symbol in the middle there, when you smush two things together, that's multiplying. We could also have y minus 5. That's another expression. Here, my operation symbol is a minus sign. I've got a variable and a number. And that's going to be an algebraic expression. Right? Any sort of combination of those things. Variables, numbers, and operation signs.
Is everybody at home doing good? If you are doing good, can you put just like yes into the chat? That'll make me let me know like I'm fine, Mrs. Herrera. But I can't hear or see you, so that would be a good woohoo! Thanks Elizabeth, thanks Julia, thanks Austin, thanks Maria. Woohoo! Thanks Marlon. Okay.
Always stop me if I'm ever going too fast. Okay? I will try really hard to kind of scan the room and see
What's going on? Okay. So let's take a look and identify each expression as either a numerical expression or an algebraic expression.
If it's an algebraic expression, I want to know what the variable is. So here, I'm going to take a look at these two. Here I've got 5 minus 5. So I want to check to see if there's any variables. Right away, that'll tell me if I've got an algebraic expression. Here, 5 is a number, and I've got an operation symbol for the minus. I don't have any variables. So this must just be a numerical expression. For the second part, I have c minus 5. Well, right away, when I read it out to myself, c, that's a variable. That's a letter standing for a number that I don't know. So here, I can tell right away, I've got a variable. That must be an algebraic expression. Okay? Then it says, identify the variable. So I'm just going to give myself a semicolon here and write down what the variable is. The variable here is C. So now what I would like you to do is I would like you to try here A, B, and C. Can you tell me, is it numerical or algebraic? And if it's algebraic, tell me what the variable is. So just put that semicolon in C. So let me try all three by yourself.
For those of you who are at home, I'm going to call on 3 of you randomly. and I want you to tell me A, B, and C. You can just type it into the chat. So, Austin, I want you to tell me if A is algebraic or numerical, and if it's algebraic, give me the variable. Elizabeth, can you do B? Tell me if it's algebraic or numerical, and if it's algebraic, give me the variable. And then Julia, can you do D? Or sorry, not D, C. Tell me if it's algebraic or numerical, and then if it is numerical or algebraic, give me the variable. Awesome. Austin, Julia, and Elizabeth, that is all correct. Okay. So here, Haley, can you give me A? What did you say? Algebraic, and what did you say your variable was? Awesome. Hayden, B. Numerical. Okay. C, Xavier. Algebraic. And what is your variable? Did you say that already? Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry. D, sorry. Sorry, I just didn't hear you. Okay, awesome. So we are going to then go ahead and we're going to stop here. As far as this part, we're going to do some practice. So I'm just going to show, I've got the physical copy here. I'm going to show